Hey everybody, this is Troy over at Uncomfortable Truths. Thanks for checking me out. So we have a bit of a crazy one today because as it turns out, most Americans apparently think that the reason that Donald Trump is going and having this needless war with Iran is in order to cover up the Epstein files. And let's be honest, guys, it's not that there's no evidence to support it, because it is pretty weird timing that all of a sudden Trump was getting cornered into finding out that he's going to have to release some of these things. And it's pretty clear that Trump was tied to Epstein. And then all of a sudden he wants to get involved in the Iran war and do Israel's bidding. So let's take a look at this article from Dropsite News from Ryan Grimm. And also, guys, when you get a chance, go ahead and check out Dropsite. If you can afford it, go ahead and throw them a few bucks because they're doing some fantastic journalism. All right, here's the article. So a majority of Americans believe Trump launched Iran war to cover up the Epstein scandal. Now, I want to be clear, guys, that may have been one piece of why he started the Iran war, but Trump's been warmongering pretty much since he got into office, despite the fact that he said he wasn't going to have any more wars in the Middle East, and he was going to make sure that we ended the wars we were in. Clearly not what's happening, and it's very clear that Trump, for whatever reason, is a puppet of the Israeli government, because this war does not benefit Americans whatsoever. And this is actually pretty cool, guys, because Dropsite actually funded this themselves, because the mainstream Democrats or Republicans aren't really going to fund any questions that might possibly put Israel in a bad light. Now, the Republicans are way too far gone to be taken seriously at all when it comes to the Iran war. But let's be honest, the Democrats aren't great on this either, and most of the elected Democrats are actually supporting this. They're pretending to go around the edges and say, well, yeah, we don't really like the way that Trump's handling it, but we really have to go to war with Iran, which that alone tells you everything you need to know, which is why polls like these are so important and why Dropsite is doing such a great job and a service to all of us, because no one else is doing this. So from the article here, nobody, for instance, has surveyed the American public to ask them whether they believe this war is being fought in the interests of the American public or on behalf of Israel. And nobody has asked whether Trump launched the war to distract the public from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Indeed, anybody in American news organizations who even suggest asking such questions would be at best never be invited back to the Zoom call, and more likely would find their key card no longer working at the front desk. And that's the truth, guys. For those of us that are old enough to remember the Iraq War, everybody who spoke out against the Iraq War was fired. And once everyone in the American public agreed that the Iraq War was a horrible idea, they didn't hire those people back, right? Those people were still gone. And that sends a message from the mainstream news outlet that if you want to work for us and if you want to have a career in journalism, you better toe the line and you better do what we're actually saying. Otherwise, you're not going to be invited back. The exact same thing is happening here because the war machine just keeps going on and on and on. And that's what we're seeing right now. And this is going to be true for months to come because this isn't going to be a short-term conflict. Because unlike a lot of the other wars that Trump has started, he doesn't get to decide when this war ends. If it were up to Trump, he would probably end it now. But Iran's saying, no, we're not ending it. You've gone too far. You've killed our peace negotiators. You have put us in a corner and we have to fight our way out. Otherwise, Americans are going to just keep coming after us again and again. And we just can't have that. And it's spiraling out of control because this isn't contained to just Iran. Israel is also now attacking Lebanon. The entire world is now starting to realize that America's lost control of the situation and they're taking sides. We very well could be at the early stages of World War III right now. And honestly, that's the way it's looking more and more every day as gas prices rise and as more countries get brought into the conflict. Because we're also seeing that this is an economic fallout, an economic disaster that is impacting the entire world because we are heavily reliant on oil and gas. And right now, the Iranians are making sure that we are not getting access to that in the way that we would like to, which is why Trump is absolutely panicking. So here's what they found. The majority of likely American voters think that Donald Trump launched the war in Iran, at least in part to distract from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. So this same survey found that a solid 52 to 40 majority of voters agreed with the statement, with the other 8% saying that they were unsure as to his motivations. The findings will come as a little surprise to a public that has morphed Trump's code name for the war, Operation Epic Fury, into Operation Epstein Fury. Because that's what this is, guys. A 52 to 40 majority in the United States when we're pretty much split 50-50 on everything is absolutely wild. Americans have decided pretty clearly that, look, this is the war to cover up the Epstein files. This is the war to protect the Jeffrey Epstein class. And Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief for the Epstein class. That's what he is. He's not here to protect you. He's not here to take care of your family. He's not even clear to make sure the American economy is okay. Because Donald Trump is interested in one thing and one thing only, and that is protecting the Jeffrey Epstein class to make sure that his secrets don't come out. And if that means he's going to put American service members' lives at risk and he's going to go ahead and serve Israel instead of the United States, then that's what he's going to do. Because Donald Trump is a puppet. And that's the uncomfortable truth, guys. So do me a favor and hit like and subscribe and go ahead and share the uncomfortable truths. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.